Success isn't guaranteed, even for the biggest brands. Over the last decade, many once thriving companies vanished. From financial troubles to changing trends, here are 10 iconic companies that disappeared in the last decade. 10. Sports Authority. Back in 2005, Sports Authority was at its peak, pulling in $2.5 billion in sales with nearly 400 stores nationwide. Nonetheless, after a private equity buyout in 2006, the company struggled to adapt to a changing market. Competition from online retailers and brick-and-mortar rivals like Dick's Sporting Goods slowly chipped away at its dominance. At the beginning of 2016, Sports Authority filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, hoping to keep some locations going. Sadly, those plans fell through, and the company closed all its stores later that year. To top it all off, its intellectual property was sold at auction for $15 million to none other than its rival, Dick's Sporting Goods. 9. Theranos. Our next item should be a lesson to ambitious students everywhere. Never build your empire on false claims. Theranos was going to revolutionize healthcare with its promise of diagnosing diseases from just a few drops of blood. After being founded by Elizabeth Holmes in 2004, the company attracted investments totaling over $700 million, reaching a market value of $9 billion. But in 2015, investigative reports revealed that Theranos technology didn't work, and that the company had been using standard lab equipment all along. By 2018, Theranos dissolved, leaving investors with nearly $1 billion in losses. Holmes was sentenced to 11 years in prison, and former President Sunny Balwani received nearly 13 years. 8. Gawker. Gawker, the once popular gossip blog, didn't just publish juicy celebrity stories. It also stirred controversy by outing public figures without their consent, including tech billionaire Peter Thiel. And, as you can imagine, Gawker's boldness came at a cost. In 2016, pro wrestler Hulk Hogan sued the site for publishing a private video without permission. Hogan won a staggering $140 million judgment and later settled for $31 million, forcing Gawker into bankruptcy. 7. Dress Barn. Dress Barn was a staple for professional women looking for affordable, stylish clothing, often found in malls and shopping centers across the U.S. However, as the retail landscape shifted and the American mall began its decline, Dress Barn was hit hard by shifting trends. By 2019, the company announced it would be closing all 650 of its stores nationwide. The decision came down to profitability. According to Dress Barn's CFO, the company just wasn't performing well enough to survive in the modern retail environment anymore. 6. Selina Hospitality. With trendy accommodations, co-working spaces, and local experiences, Selina Hospitality was set to change the world of travel for busy digital nomads everywhere. The company grew fast and soon had over 100 locations in 22 countries. But the rapid expansion came at a cost. Selina often leased underperforming properties and poured money into renovations to attract its target audience, a strategy that proved too costly to sustain. Its attempt to go public in 2022 through a SPAC also failed to raise enough funds to cover mounting financial pressures. Selina declared insolvency in July 2024, a mere 10 years after it was founded, and its assets were acquired by Collective Hospitality. 5. Modell's. Modell's was a beloved sporting goods chain, especially in the northeastern U.S., offering everything from sneakers to snow gear. Even so, after more than a century in business, the company struggled to compete with big-box retailers and e-commerce giants like Amazon. To make matters worse, warmer winters hurt sales of cold-weather gear like jackets, a key part of their inventory. In February 2020, before the pandemic fully hit, Modell's filed for bankruptcy. Originally, the company planned to shut down just 24 locations, but their financial conditions got worse, and the company eventually had to close them all. 4. A&P Supermarket. If you grew up in the U.S. before the 2000s, chances are A&P was a familiar sight in your neighborhood. The Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, or A&P, used to be the largest grocery chain in the country. But by the time it disappeared in 2015, the brand was more of a distant memory than a grocery powerhouse. A&P first declared bankruptcy in 2010 with over $3 billion in debt. It managed to come back as a private company. But the rise of cheaper stores like Walmart and high-end chains like Whole Foods proved too much to compete with. In 2015, A&P went bankrupt again, this time closing or selling all its stores for good. 3. Teavana. In its prime, Teavana offered tea enthusiasts a luxurious experience with its premium blends and carefully curated accessories. Starbucks saw potential in the brand and bought it for $620 million in 2012, hoping to expand beyond coffee. But there was one big problem. Most Teavana stores were located in shopping malls already seeing declining foot traffic. By 2017, Starbucks made the tough call to close all of Teavana's nearly 400 locations, deciding the retail tea business just wasn't sustainable. For loyal fans, it marked the end of a brand that once promised a cup of something special. 2. Barney's New York. After nearly a century of serving Manhattan's elite, Barney's New York closed its doors for good in 2019. Despite its reputation as a beacon of high fashion and a favorite among celebrities, the luxury department store couldn't keep up with rising rent costs, growing competition from e-commerce, and declining foot traffic. Barney's filed for bankruptcy in August 2019 and entertained bids to avoid liquidation. But Authentic Brands Group ultimately bought the company. The deal meant all stores, including the iconic Madison Avenue flagship, were shut down. 1. Alta Motors. You'd think anything tied to the electric vehicle boom would thrive, but maybe that doesn't translate to motorcycles. Alta Motors got its start in 2010 and quickly gained traction, earning glowing reviews from journalists and enthusiasts alike. By 2018, the company had expanded to over 70 dealerships, and their sales were up by 50%. It even secured $27 million in funding and an investment from Harley-Davidson. Nevertheless, signs of trouble soon emerged. Price cuts on its 2018 Redshift models raised concerns about profitability, and the potential partnership with Harley-Davidson fell apart. By the end of 2018, the venture was left in the dust. The business world is ruthless. One wrong move can end even the strongest brands. Which company's downfall surprised you the most? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.